There
What's
we
going
go.
on?
Good morning.
Good morning, Panda. Guys, I'm sorry. It's the first time doing this by my own. And believe it or not, we've been over here since 6:30. And when we were ready to go, all of a sudden say record. That is a go live or nothing. So Panda is more experienced than me. Do this, do this, do this, do that. Finally, we have it. So welcome to the inauguration of the Factory Reserve podcast, which in this case, I will not interview no one. I will be the guy getting interviewed by no other that the one and only Panda. Good morning, Panda. How you doing, man?
Good morning, Papa. Good morning. How you guys doing? See, we already got a couple of people already in the chat room. We got
That's good. That's
we
good.
got Josephus, Don. We even got Hayes Gray in the house here.
Pedro.
Pedro, that's Pedro. Anthony, good morning. Good morning. I don't know. Some might be surprised that the Panda's here under sporting the BAM flag today this morning, but I figured, you know what? It is. So, guys, we kind of figured it. When Ish brought this up to my attention in regards to he's gonna start doing his own podcast. I told him, I said, you know what better way to start his podcast by introducing him and getting really to know Ish. Because we all know Ish, the cigar maker, Ish, the factory owner, Ish, Bank. We know everything that has to do with Ish, but do we really know Ish? So I came up with at least, I think it's like 25 or 28 questions. And we're gonna try to really go in depth in regards to Ish beyond the cigars, right? Let's get to know who Ish Olivan really is first, so that when he has and he forms in his opinion and his expertise, you guys know where his background comes from, and he comes from a solid background. So, once again, good morning. I am the interviewer. I'm on the captain's seat over here. Well, anyway, once again, guys, listen, we got Carmen from His and Hers. Anthony, good morning. Good morning. Colleen, what's going on?
Carmen.
Steve,
How you
yes.
doing?
All right, so let's get into this. We're playing a little catch up over here, Ish. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
guys, so like I said, we know Ish Olivan as far as the factories and the cigars that he makes. So here's the question, the very first question for people who don't know you: who is Ish Olivan or Ishmael Olivan, right? Because that's his actual name. Give us a little background, not
So,
the cigar aspect of it though. Just you.
yeah. So Ismail Olivan is just another person. He was born 54 years ago in Spain, Bilbao, Basque Country to be more precise. And he's just a normal guy, a normal worker, and that loves cigars. And being from Spain, smoking cigarettes, which you will see me smoking cigarettes, and after that, I will be smoking a cigar, BTC, by the way, with my coffee. I came to the United States in 1999, and I've been blending cigars since 2003, and opened a factory in 2016. Banff was created in 2015, but with the factory in 2016, and that's me. Yes, normal guy.
Okay, so I kind of want to go a little bit deeper than that. So my question is, so we all know you were born and raised in Spain,
Yes.
And obviously I know a couple of things beyond just you cigars, because we've had some one-on-one conversations.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
you used to own a business out there, did you not? Because you also are a contractor. A lot of people don't know that you're a general contractor.
And a general contractor in the
Right.
United States. Well, by degree, I have my major is in engineering. So, and like over here in the United States is called a structural engineer, and I don't even know how it's called over here in the United States. It's just engineer, architect, however you want to call it over here. And my minor is psychology, and I never use it except for my normal life or whatever, but I never work on that. But yeah, I came to the United States 1999 for vacations for like 3 months, and in about 12 days, it will be 27 years. Even with this heavy accent, it will be 27 years, half of my life.
And
United
guys,
States.
and guys, listen, I've been around Ace long enough, so if you guys need any translation, like the first one was engineer, okay? The word he's an engineer, just so that you understand, yeah, because we all
Engineer,
know,
engineer.
you
Yeah.
know, we got some isms as we like to call them here. So now we know that BAMF, we all know what BAMF stands for, badass mother flower, right? Well, mother, you know what it is. But and as you can see, we're wearing the shirt and we see a military guy in the background, right? As
Yes,
part of your
sir.
band. Now, do you have a military background?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I was one of those guys that didn't want to go to the military because in Spain, back then, it was mandatory. And I already had my nice job, making good money, and I didn't want to go to military. So I postponed and postponed and postponed. And it's only two ways that you can get out of it. It's like a conscious objector, I believe it's called in English, and the other one, Jehovah's Witness. I know one or the other. So I went over there with long hair. I mean, long hair through my ass, all the way down to my ass. And I said, oh, peace, peace, whatever. And I hear somebody calling my name. I said, oh, shit, I didn't move. And when the guy was over there, private, was about to stamp it for me to get out, somebody tapped my shoulder. I looked, and it was one of my, how you call it? I was teaching martial arts at the time, and it was a colonel for the army that I didn't know he was a colonel. Say he comes with me, so that was it. And I did my time over there, and I spent another almost 10 years, so 11 years total, because I like it. So it was good that the guy called me, tapping in my shoulder. And from that, I became a contractor for the military. No contractor as again, a contractor that I now, a contractor for the military. And I went to an anti-terrorist unit. Then for that, I was called for like you would call over here, special forces per se, but in an international agency, which I still to this day until probably I'm 65. But yeah, I did my military thing for sure.
And I think there's a lot that's something that a lot of people don't know. I mean, people know that you've been in the military, just didn't understand the depths of it. Because I also know you're also a skydiver, just the same too.
Yes, sir.
You have your certification and stuff like that as an instructor, as a skydiver as well, or
I'm a skydiving instructor and a skydiving coach and a pro license in skydive. I have 6,998 jumps. Then I injured my back 5 years ago and my neck, which to this day I still like that. And I had to go back, man. It's only 2 jumps for 7,000 to have my 7,000 wins, and I have over 100 something hours free fly. But I just had to get up. Now somebody has to talk with my wife and say, "You don't do that. Who knows what is going to happen?" Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I love it. I love it. Honestly, I love it.
so. So you showed everybody earlier you're smoking. What are you smoking right now?
I'm about to smoke the BTC, better than Cuba.
And I'm smoking the
The
Fox.
Foxy.
The
I wish I
Fox.
had one.
So
As a matter of fact, the Foxy was one that came in the first pack of Factory Reserve cigar club.
yeah, and we're gonna get to that. Don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. So because that also came with this bad boy too, just the same, the Marvel. So
Yes,
so you started in the military. Obviously, you had your engineering licensing and stuff like that. You started. How did you go from the military to saying, you know what, I want to start having my own brand? Like, how did that come about from one day to the next?
well, that happened over here in the United States. It was not even in Spain. Spain is very normal for people to smoke cigarettes, smoke cigars, and you see people, mostly the old people. When I say old people, I'm an old guy now, but I'm talking back then, so I see, I'm looking to my uncles or my grandfathers like this, or my father or my father's friends, and they have the leaves, they roll the cigars and they smoke. And but I never pay much attention, to be honest with you, Panda. I never pay attention. And all of a sudden, I came to United States, and how he came, it was his name is Clint Sheriff, and he's a former Marine and a former SWAT team for the Palm Beach County Sheriff Office. And every time that he was patrolling, just happened that he was by my house, not this one, the other one that I had before. And it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, it could be 11 o'clock in the morning, depends what it was. So in his breaks, stop at my house because my wife, as a matter of fact, worked for his father. So I say, hey, you in Royal Palm Beach, just go ahead and stop by Issue's house. If he's there, just go over there and have a break or whatever. So we smoke. And one day, after probably a year or so, I'm talking about 2015 now, I said, let's make a cigar, but let's make a cigar for people like us, military, police, law enforcement, excuse me, and for responders. And it was funny because I don't say Banff, but when working with the name, he said Banff, and I say badass motherfuckers. And at the same time, whoa, what happened? And it was created about 2:30 in the morning. Banff was created somewhere around April, May of 2015.
Now, so here's my question. So you have the idea now, right? Now, how does the idea comes to realization? Like, how do you go through that process? And what process? Like, everyone obviously has a starting point, right? So,
yes,
what problems did you guys, end up having in the very beginning of the process of creating Banff cigars?
Well, mostly the problem, like everyone that they start, is two of them. It's money, of course. You have to have the money. And second, we couldn't control what it was coming from different factories. Even though I was blending cigars for many of the companies since 2003, but I never blend my own cigar. So I didn't have a factory at the time. So it was kind of like, and guys, this is Monday morning, but it's for 21 and over. So I'm going to call things like they are. So it was the bullshit that people give you about, oh, you had to consolidate, you cannot bring your own cigars, you have to wait a month, the month it became 45 days, and when we have everything done, we go and ship the cigars. And it was this imported sharkiness for the whole plane, and the other guys and the other guys on the guys for the whole freight. And so they were double, triple, quadruple, dipping. So we say, you know what? Let's do our own, and we did, and it was the same thing because we couldn't control. So later on, he was busy. He was still a SWAT team guy, and I was busy with my construction over here, plus my other jobs. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go down and see what happens. So I went down. I look around. I know many people in the DR since 2003, like I said, and I just rent a factory. And the rest is history. We rent the factory, we do the blend solid for other people, but now we, in this case, it's me. But when I say we, it's you have a team before, in front of you. It's not like you are by yourself. So we can import, export, blend, whatever, our own facility, our own tobaccos, go around, buy tobacco, and that's how we did it. So it was for a dream.
Okay, so then I'm going to kind of back you up then a little bit because so in 2003 you say you already were blending cigars.
Yes.
So then how did you actually get to that state? Like how did you get to that before you created other cigars? How did you make those connections in regards to DR and for you to start rolling for I'm assuming for other companies at that time, right?
As a matter of fact, everything came, believe it or not, for something I didn't want to do, like I said before, the military. So when I went to military, I was my destination was Angola. It was in war back then, and I spent 3 years back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's not like in the United States military that you can go, so many tours or whatever. It doesn't happen in Europe. You go until they tell you that you have to come home. And the only thing that I was doing, of course, my military stuff, but it was just smelling around, and everyone that has a cigar, I said, oh my God, I want to do that. So I want to know these tobaccos. I was already a smoker. I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 14, cigars, and I was 15. So I started to play with the cigars. Like I said, being from Spain, it's very easy to play with the leaves and all of that, which most people don't understand and they don't know. But the cigars we know to this day, with the filler, binder, and wrapper, it's not Cuba, it's not whatever. It was born in Seville, Spain in 1676. So it's very, very common to today's day in 2026. Go over there and see people reach the pocket, have a little humidification pack, open, cut the leaves, and roll their own cigars. Like we call Toscanos, Gavilleros per se. So it's no press, it's nothing. You just roll your cigar. So it was easy, to be honest with you. So and I started to blend and blend and blend because I got to many different countries, and my thing was go over there, do my job, my time off, go to farms or whatever they were, and pick up tobacco. So when I came back years later to Spain, I have so many different countries tobacco from that I didn't know what to do. It was a lot, all very good humidification and all of that. And I started to blend to the point that people started to tell me, hey, I hear that you had tobacco from this place, that place. I said, yes. Can you do something for me? So I went home, do something, send to them, or get in or meet with them, and they smoke. Oh my God, this is good, and that's how it started. So it started just as a hobby, to be honest.
I mean, and then those of us that have had the privilege of meeting you, and obviously, and you just brought up kind of my name because you kind of known, especially for us that have been hanging out with you for a little bit in regards to these different tobaccos from around the world. What would you think when people, or should I say, what do you think when people come up to you and start questioning you in regards to these tobaccos, like Transylvania, Madagascar, Irish, Italian, like, what's your immediate reaction in regards to when people start questioning you in regards to the different tobaccos around the world?
My immediate reaction is I just laugh. I totally laugh, and because people don't believe things. Okay, today's day, and I don't want to change the conversation. I'm coming to it, but today's day, we are, including myself, we became more ignorance, no stupid per se, but more ignorance. Before, years back, you didn't have a phone with a GPS, and you would never get lost. Never.
Okay.
You was to a neighbor or whatever it was, and you know exactly where to go. And I'm talking hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, so you never get lost. Today's GPS. God forbid you don't put the GPS to go to buy your bread. You get lost, So it's that's funny. We didn't have internet. So forget about ChatGPT and all of these things. Today, I'm a blender. I know how to do it because I can ChatGPT or Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever. I'm a blender. Well, you nothing. You have to have the hands on, and so that's the whole thing. Today's day is very easy for people to think or assume that they know. Back then, you had to do it. You had to have no mentors per se, but people that you look, like I was saying before, my uncles, my grandfather and his friends, my father and his friends, and that's how you do everything back in the day. So totally different thing, to be honest. Totally
So Cigar Don asks, what is the rarest tobacco that you have used in a cigar?
Well, as a matter of fact, is one that I never thought it will exist because of the climate, and it's Antarctica or Orica, how you say in English, the Orica tobacco. Is something that it's tobacco. It's not, but it's almost like a how you call it's not the grass. It's the is the weed, the around that you try to kill and kill and kill. I don't care. You cut it, you just take it out, you put random in it, whatever, but it's still coming back and coming back. That's tobacco. So in everywhere is tobacco. To the point that I've been for work and no work, just for pleasure, in 72 countries, and I had tobacco for 72 countries.
So the comedian Angel's on the thing here, and of course he's like Ish is working on a tobacco that helps you grow in his lab. There's hope for you. You can always rely on Angel day or night, early morning, late evening, it doesn't matter. It's all
that.
good. I still love you, bro.
That's good.
So I'm trying to follow my head. You're known for using a lot of tobaccos in your blends. Why take that approach? Because the normal is your normal 3 blends, 3 tobaccos, 4 tobaccos, but you've known to be, 14 tobaccos, 17 tobaccos. And when I mean 17 or 14 tobacco, I'm talking about 14 different countries, 17 different countries in that tobacco. Why take that approach as opposed to the norm?
I tell you why. When I was a kid, probably I was like 3 or 4 years old, I hear my grandfather, my father's father, saying, son, he called me son, even if I was the grandson, say, let me tell you something. Everyone is born original, but we all die as a copy. So don't be a copy, be yourself. And in the cigar industry, is what happened, which is normal. You're Dominican, you're proud to be Dominican, you make Dominican tobaccos. Or you blend with Dominican tobaccos. Nicaraguan, you're proud to be Nicaraguan, like I applaud, like they should be, proud, like we Americans, and we proud to be Americans, same thing. But at the same time, I'm from all over the place, 72 countries, from Spain, moved to the United States. My wife from Trinidad. My daughter passed away Chinese, the other one French, and the one that we have now is an English bully. So, it's like I compare tobacco to a chef. A chef doesn't use just their country's products. They go all around, and that's what they have: sushi, they have steak, they have this, they have that. They use I don't know, salt from Himalaya. They do this. You had to blend. That's what a blender is. A blender. It's a blender. You have a blender in your house and you put a strawberry, bananas, whatever, and you blend. That's what a blend is. So the more the merrier, as long as it tastes good. And that's how it
is. That's big, right? As long as it tastes good. Good. So here's my question. So here's my follow-up question. How do you even begin building a cigar with that level of complexity? Then, I would assume trial and error. I mean, because 17 countries, that's a lot. 14 countries is a lot. How do you know? How do you build that profile in that cigar? Do you have something in mind, or you just letting the cigar dictate itself and work it along the way?
What I have in mind is the same thing that all of us we have. You hear about Germany, good ice cream. You hear about France, good chocolate. You hear about Spain, good pinchos. You hear about whatever country, and it's different things that they well known for that. So it's in tobacco. So I say, well, if these guys are good in chocolate, the best in the world must be, I hope, at least, that's what I did, that the cigar is going to be kind of those notes, per se. This guy's very well known, or this country, for the spices. So maybe it's a little spicy, whatever. So that's how I did. And I started to blend. I said, oh my God, this you cannot smoke this. Man, it's gonna give you diarrhea for a week. I said, no, plus and mix different things, and until I came like it's natural. It's just pick out the ingredients, put it together, works. If it works, go. I'm not here to make a legacy about the best cigar ever. No. I know it's just to be different per se. We all want to be different.
Yeah, I'm assuming this has got to be Carmen asking this question, because I know that Lewis is on his. She said, how long did it take you to create the Marvel, and how did you learn which tobacco you could use that wasn't going to cancel out each other's profile? And that was going to be my follow-up question on that. So because and I would assume it has to be trial and error, right? And
Yes.
just to use your analogies as the chef, right? A chef would try a certain seasoning, or they'll try to create a certain profile. They'll add this, add that to see. But like in that process, because this cigar, and let's back it up a little bit. So when people hear you have 14 different tobaccos in there or 17 tobaccos, they think the cigar should look like this. You know what I mean? It should be that huge.
That's a myth. That's
Of
totally a
course.
myth. You know?
Well, break it down. Break it down for those who. I mean, we've been fortunate to go through it, but go for it.
What happened is it's the same thing. Like again, I always refer to something else so people can understand. It's the same thing when you go to a nice restaurant. They'll tell you this little plate. I mean, a little plate that you pay $500, and it's this tiny thing. The tiniest, the more expensive. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And you see over there the little things. What the hell is this? Oh, it came the solis from, like I said before, Himalaya. The water come from Fiji water in Japan. The other one comes from, and you say, okay. So it's the same thing. In the tobacco, you put, first of all, premium tobacco is only three things, right? That we have to have: long filler, no modification of the tobacco, no flavor, no infused, nothing, and has no have filter. Now, when I say it's 14 countries, I don't say it's 14 leaves. I don't say it's 14 binders, 14 wrappers. No, it's wrapper you have one country, binder you have another country, and then on, like I would call in Spanish, en la tripa, which is the filler, you can have as long that is a long filler. You can do stripes if you want to per se, and you just put one little stripe for every country. You mix it together, you blend together, you press, and the cigar comes. So the marble was supposed to be the around the world, but I was missing three countries I won. It was almost perfect to me. It was almost perfect. Everyone liked it. And when I went to buy the other three countries tobacco, they were so expensive. And I said, okay, let's see what happened. So somebody for South Arabia, he came and just landed in my factory because we know free zone. In free zone is that you have to show your ID, go inside. You cannot take tobacco from there, and you have to have the receipt. So nobody can give you a cigar for free. Maybe one, but you can take a box or 2 boxes or whatever. So I didn't want that. Yeah, it's cheaper, but I want to be in my own standalone building. That's how we are to this day. And the guy won it, and we can go the marble, and that's how it was. But actually, the marble is one step down in blends or in countries all around the world. So I just can putting things together. It took time, but that's how it is. You have to play with things.
Well, what people don't understand as well is that just like in cooking, and there's recipes in cigars, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're ratios, and that's what you're referring to: a stripe, a piece, a half, whatever of the leaf.
Yeah.
They're ratios to make that distinctive cigar. Because if you have a long leaf, and then to me it will be different. Obviously, if you cut the leaf in half and you blend that halfway, guys, you got to understand the true complexity of being a blender, in my opinion, is knowing that recipe, knowing how much tobacco to put where to get those. I know he hates this word transition, but the change of flavors, of flavors, like he likes to call them. It's his pocket. I'm going to respect it. So to me, how do you know, like, and I guess I'm kind of answering my own question there, right? Because it is trial and error. Because I would assume, in order for you to have created that 14 blend cigar in the Marvel, like how many times did you actually had to go back to the drawing board to get it the way you want it?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, I have people trying the cigars, and it was very difficult for me to do that on the DR, because like I said before, they used to the DR tobaccos. DR, you use Dominican Republic and some Nicaragua, some Honduras, some Ecuador, some Pennsylvania, some Connecticut, and that's about it. Same thing happened with Honduras, same thing happened with Nicaragua. So for me, when I introduce this and give to my blenders, to my rollers to try, they were confused. They say, what the hell is this? You know, it's like you asking for a salmon in the restaurant and all of a sudden they come with tomahawk. Well, you're not expecting that. You're expecting the salmon, not the tomahawk. So, but maybe you try and it's better. And that's what happened. So it's very complex. But like I said, I don't want to be the typical maker, I have to have my hands on all day long. And now that people have been working for me for like 10, 11, 12 years, now they know where I'm coming from. And they cannot wait until I say, hey guys, I'm like the last time, October last year, in Argentina, but all the way south in the end of the world, I'm going to pick up a boat and go to Oregon. And I'm going to see if it's tobacco. And they laugh. Well, it was tobacco. So I bring it and they cannot wait. Oh my God, let's see how that tastes, you know, and they taste elite. So it's like a excitement. So everybody's excited to have those, like we call exotic tobaccos, which is not exotic, it's normal for that country. It's not for us, but it's normal for that country. And that's what I love. Is just go to different countries, pick up something and bring to the DR and blend cigars.
And to me, I think, and you guys, I've been smoking for 30 years now. It's crazy to even say that. You know, I've been smoking for 30 years. And I could tell you that me getting to know you and getting to know your blends, and I say this, and guys that know me know exactly which cigar I'm going to go to. To me, what really opened my eyes to other tobaccos from different countries was the Blood of Vlad. You know, the Blood of Vlad, yeah, it's a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper, but when you said Transylvanian tobacco, I was one that was very skeptical. And of course, you know what I did? Just like everybody else, got my phone, and like, there ain't no way in hell that there's tobacco from Transylvania. I go, now here's a guy that's just trying to be different. And I go, but I knew that there was something different and very distinctive about that cigar, right? So, and I'm honest about it. You know, I looked it up and I was like, holy crap, man, there is tobacco in Transylvania. Yep. I'm like, there is such thing as Transylvania tobacco. And to me, that really opened me up in the sense that I'm like, man, I have been depriving myself, right? Because I'll be the first one to admit that I was a legacy guy for the longest time, your normal cigar. And it hasn't been maybe the last 3 to 4 years, and probably honestly the last 2 years that I've really gone, and myself and my guys, that we really got in depth with boutique cigars or craft cigars or whatever you want to call them. And a lot has to do in credit to you, because the reality is without you exposing me or anybody else on this platform that's commenting, you know, I don't think anybody would have known about these other countries, because you hear, like, it's funny because I read an article the other day that now they're starting to use, people are starting to look for tobaccos from other countries. And it's funny. And I found that funny. I'm like, I know a guy. Hey, we know a guy that's been doing it for years, you know? And I'm like, you know what? Why not? This man needs to be exposed a lot more than what he has been. Because you have been in the industry for quite some time, and you know these big guys. You know what I mean? And the thing is, but to me, I think it's nice that you know all those big guys, but it's like the little guys like us that we need to be the ones. And this is what I love about this platform that you're creating, because your platform is not like the platform that we have, that we want to talk to people like you, right? You want to talk to people like me. You know, you want to bring the consumers onto your podcast and kind of get insights from them, which I think is a good concept. It really is. So here's my question to kind of go off topic just a little bit. You know, what do you think is the difference between a good cigar and a memorable cigar for you?
To me, it depends the definition, how you want to define that. To me, good cigar is a good cigar. Memorable cigar, it can be not as good, or could be amazing, or could be the best cigar But memorable to me is the time, the place that you are in. So, for instance, it could be, God forbid, but it could be in a funeral. It could be in a wedding. It could be your birthday. It could be because you only have $5 in your wallet and you want a cigar. So that's to me memorable. Memorable cigars not necessarily has to be the best cigars. In my opinion, just in my opinion. And for people who say memorable is, $200 cigar that I smoke when sorry Pedro, when today Spain kick ass to Portugal in soccer.
What's going on, Luis? Luis is here. Oh, just got to work. You have a good day. Let's go, Portugal. And that gets today at 3:00. So, that was this very informative. What was that? Very informative show already. Enjoy getting to know his love that I can actually see Panda. Must have busted out the good hot shit, not like on the leaf and ash. Wow. I just readjusted. I got a table now. Check this out. Watch this. You see that? Look at that. It's automatic up and down, Andrew. I'm investing on the podcast, but this will be on the leaf and ash just the same. So,
and I'll tell you something before we keep going. Normally, this is going to be just like a 1 hour. Of course, in this is going to be longer because it's the first one. But guys, the idea of doing this, it was not mine at all. It was Panda coming to my house, sitting over here in the chair by me and say, "Hey, Ish, I know that a lot of people know you, but what about those guys that they don't know you? Why we don't do something for you to talk about the tobacco, your experience, where you're coming from?" So that, Panda, thank you so much because you made the first episode to me super original and super epic. Again, remember, I always said we want originals and with us a copy. Well, this is not a copy, and this is just because of you. So thank you so much for that.
Next question. Thank you for allowing me to do this. No, thank you for allowing me to do this because, I think these, and guys, those are, if you have questions to ask, this is the time. You know what I mean? Because, Ish and I, he was telling me some of his ideas in regards to the podcast. And I was like, well, before we get into the real back end, behind the scenes stories, why don't we really get in depth with you? What's your true opinion about certain things? And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, those who don't know Ish and those of us that do know Ish does not want to bite his tongue on certain things. Like we say in Spanish, él no tiene pelo en la lengua. He doesn't have it on his tongue. So, and, so to me, I think this is a good insight because Ish wanted to go hardcore from the very beginning, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, dude, pump the red. I said, dude, it's your podcast. You do what you want. But I said, let people get to know who you are first. Because listen, right? Just like anything else, you want a solid foundation. And so when people start looking at you, because you're gonna have very strong opinions about certain things in the industry that are not the norm. And I know you got broad shoulders, and I know because you already received a couple of phone calls, in regards about certain things, about certain individuals, for certain people. It's not my place to talk about that, but that's you. But I'm going to tell you now, guys, there's going to be a lot of information here that a lot of people are not going to like, that we're going to be informed about. And all I tell you is to buckle up, tap on that seatbelt, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a ride. It is not going to be your normal podcast. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of behind the scenes. And if you guys want more information behind the scenes, Ish also started the TPA, which we will get to that momentarily, the Tobacco Products Association, because that's another organization I tell you is not your normal organization. You got retailers, brand owners, consumers, that's the big one, consumers. And media. And media, right? Podcasting, hello. Right? But what's up, Ru? Hey, Ru, you just missed it, man. He's saying how Spain is going to whoop Portugal today. I don't know what that's about, man. Just saying. I ain't trying to stir nothing up, but I'm stirring it up.
To be honest with you, Ru, he asked me a question. What is a good cigar and what's a memorable cigar? I said, memorable, it can be whenever. You could be in a funeral, you could be whatever, but memorable for me, it could be just a 2018 or no, excuse me, 2028 vintage Winston.
Get out of here with that,
When
man.
Spain
We ain't talking about no
Portugal last today.
cigarettes.
So,
Oh man.
but yeah.
Okay, so let's get back on track here.
Go for it.
So are you breaking rules intentionally? You know, and this is a direct question because you know, when I was writing these questions, I wanted to get your true opinion about it. Are you deliberately breaking tradition in the tobacco world to stand out, or to prove a point, or to show that there are different levels to this game?
Oh, I do it purposely all day long, even when I sleeping. My dream is to fly over there. No, that's a shot. But yes, I do it purposely because, first of all, it's no rules per se. But for most people, think, oh, the rule, the rule of thumb, it has to be this country do this tobacco, this country do this tobacco, this, and we're the best, and Nicaragua is number one, and Honduras, whatever, and the other. So I know here yes to busting balls to everyone and prove a point, not like I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I can say that they're wrong. So if it makes any sense, I'm not right.
I tell that to my wife all the time. Listen, I tell that to my wife all the time. I tell her, I said, not that I'm always right. It's just I'm never wrong. You know, it's just I'm never wrong. I'm always right. You know?
Well, it's like I always said, you know, since I was a child, a little kid, 3 years old, I said, well, I know the smartest person ever. Obviously, I was 3 years old. So I'm not gonna call the rest of the world stupid or whatever. I call them blind. You know, like you have a horse or a donkey or whatever is an animal, but it's a piece of work. It's an equipment, and you put the blinds so they cannot look to the left or to the right, and they keep going and going and going. That's the cigar industry to this day. They just have blinds, and they just go straight. They're losing all of this peripheral vision and that one, and sometimes you have to go and look behind. Why? Because what people did behind is what you are to this day. So don't go just like that. Look around, and even in your freaking neck hurts, just look. Oh, he did that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. So I'm breaking rules purposely and to prove a point that most people in this industry, and I'm sorry to call you guys out, not by name, but you all know who you are, is full of bullshit. So
yeah, you know, and you're in the military, you know, I'm in law enforcement. We call that tunnel vision, right? We call that tunnel vision when you just
tunnel vision,
exactly. and you're not looking to your left or right, you know. And quick reels says, I'm glad you're not doing chat GPT questions. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So here's another one. How do I say this then? So what do you think is wrong with the industry?
Everything.
Where do you begin?
It's everything and nothing at the same time, but most everything about the industry. What is wrong is, as always in everything, politics is bad. When you're talking about cigar, you say how politics can be involved. Well, yeah, politics are involved. It's taxes, it's exports, it's imports, what you can do, what you cannot do, how to do it, how to perform. Look, so but mostly what is wrong is not for the manufacturers. It's not for the so-called legacy, or like I call large, medium, and small businesses. It's not any one of us. It's the consumers that all of a sudden, mostly since 2020, March, a lot of us we can relate COVID-19. All of a sudden, everybody knows everything about cigars, which actually we don't. We know just a tiny little thing, but these guys became whatever, and they are misinforming everyone else because they have followers or the influencers or they whatever it is. They say something, and we are so lazy. I say we, including myself, that I don't even use, like I said before, ChatGPT or whatever. Panda told me that 2 + 2 is 5. I believe Panda. He's a good friend of mine. Well, sorry, it's wrong. 2 plus 2 is 4. It's not 5. And that's what is wrong with the industry. People believe things because somebody says so, and it's totally. I'm gonna put you, and I'm gonna give you a name, okay? And because I don't care, like you say, I don't have hair in my fucking tongue. When I came with the Bloro Black with Transylvanian tobacco, somebody came to my house and loved it, and he wanted to have Transylvanian tobacco in his cigar. I was making at the time, so he went to Miami, and he went to a very well-known guy by the name of Perdomo, and I said, "Well, what do you think about?" Oh, look at him. He is going like that.
Yeah, my neck, bro. Yeah, you got stick ahead.
So he went over there and said, "Hey Nick, I want to do a cigar with Transylvanian tobacco." The guy literally laughed and said, "It's not tobacco in Transylvania. Tobacco needs at least 12 hours of this, blah, blah, blah." So he picked up his phone and called to the next building to the guy that is in computers to find out it was Transylvanian tobacco. And before the guy called him back, he said, "But anyways, who tell you that?" He said, "Well, it's Ismael Ish." He said, "Ish from Banff, ROCF." He said, "If he tell you so, it is tobacco in Transylvania." So all the meaning that he has, it went for impossible to say, "Oh shit, he says so. Must be true." Before he has the call, and the guy was over there when he received the call and say, "Sorry, boss, but yeah, it's tobacco in Transylvania." So it's you know it's what happened in the industry, that people, it's just like rules are, like I said before, just to jump the rules. Do whatever you have to do as long that it's legal and you do it with for a good cause, not just to fuck people out. Just do it, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it.
Well, I think what makes it very complex, right? To be able to blend, like we call them, exotic tobacco, you have to be willing to gamble, because it's money, right? Because the pilons aren't, they're not cheap. Then those bundles are not cheap,
No, it's
and,
not.
and you're going and you're buying them by the pound, right? You're buying
Yeah,
an abundance of tobacco,
yeah.
and the reality is that you have to be willing to take that gamble on yourself. What's up, Gabe? In regards to saying, you know what, let me see what this tastes like and what other tobaccos will complement it. And I think that's where the true master blender comes in, in regards to having, being able to put them all together, to come up with that recipe. What do we got going on? Check that.
He was right. Check the spelling. You put a double P in there. And by the way, guys, I didn't say, but yes, it's a giveaway. Every Monday morning is gonna be giveaway, and you have to type that. It's over there going through the whole time. It's FR podcast, Fatro Reset podcast. So put your hashtag, guys.
So here we go. So you've made, safely to say, what, over 100 different blends? What would you
Blends. I have over 100. I have over 750 blends.
Now, here's the question. Out of all those 750 blends plus, which one do you think is your favorite to date?
My favorite today is different things. Okay, it's like asking to a father, "What is your favorite child?" We all have a favorite child, but we never will say, "Oh, I like them, I love them in the same. Oh my God, they in my heart." Is bullshit. We all have a favorite. So our parents, they have a favorite son as well. To me, not because he's the best taste cigar, is because it was a mistake and it worked, and it's the inside out. That cigar shouldn't exist. That thing is disgrace for the cigar industry, and I make it, and that's one of my favorite cigars. It's not my favorite. Now, that I make.
But what's in it?
I don't. Go ahead.
Well, what's in it? Because I've never heard. I don't think I've ever had that one.
The inside out is a cigar that shouldn't exist. So, you know me. Every time before I go to bed, I go to my patio and I'm over here in the garage and I roll a cigar. Just to me, a gavillero, like a little Toscano, to smoke. So that day, it was about 11 o'clock, 10:30, something like that at night. And I went and I forgot I didn't have any tobacco. So I had 3 wrappers, 1 binder, and 1 filler. So what the fuck am I gonna do with this shit? So, and I said, I can do nothing. So most people, I mean, 100% of the people by me, they will say, okay, tomorrow's another day. But just happened, and on my laptop, okay, right now, on the patio, listen to music, YouTube music. And it came the song "What Is Love." You know, like the and I don't know how it is. One night, the Rosemary or whatever, the 2 brothers going tit 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 tit. Okay,
Baby, don't hurt me.
don't hurt me no more.
No
Yeah.
more.
So it came to my brain that the whole movie was that they were not welcome to the world. They were not to the society that they live. They're not welcome. So because they're not welcome, they say, you know what, fuck, we are gonna do our own, and they do a pub per se, a disco, however you wanna call it, that the inside looks like the outside, and the outside looks like the inside, something different. And I say, oh shit, let's do the 3 wrappers become a filler, the filler become the binder, and the binder become the wrapper, and that's how the inside out was born. Even the label is inside out. People see white, but the actual label that is Don Olivan, when you open it's a green label, is in the inside. So that was probably my favorite for what it is. I'm not talking about taste. I'm not talking about whatever. I'm talking about it happened. Sometimes, look, people, man, mistakes happen. How penicillin was born. One guy leaving the door open, came the next day and see everything with mildew, and she said, oh shit, penicillin. You know, it's, things happen, and it happen for a reason. I am a true believer that things happen for a reason.
Yeah, I think a lot of big innovations do happen by accident, right? By fluke, And there's normally sometimes something like that. You're bored, you got nothing to do, you just throwing things together. Now the question is, do you remember how to do it all over again at that moment to duplicate it?
Well, that cigar, I did. I was so excited. I believe it was like a 10:30, close to 11 o'clock. And in the DR, they don't change the time. So we were in service time. So for us, it was 10:30. In the DR was 11:30. Remember, everyone in the DR goes to bed between 8 to 8:30, 9 o'clock, because they had to get up by 4:30 to go to work. So I called Oscar, which is the guy that managed everything over there. So I called him. He's like, I hope it's important, what's going on. So I tell him about the cigar. He named my mother, my father, my family, everything. You decrease of the freaking tobacco industry. I left freaking Davidoff and Fuente and this and that to work with you because I thought you would innovated. You a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. I say, okay, I'm not working for you no more. Tomorrow I go and ask for my job back. I say, okay. That was my 10:30. He's 11:30. So about 2 o'clock, my time, there was 3 o'clock his time, I have a call. I say, Oscar Manuel Arias. I say, oh, fuck me. He's going to send me already his resignation letter, and I'm fucked now. Now I had to move to the DR or something. So yes, Oscar, what's going on? What are you doing? You have to get up in 1 hour to go to work. I now work. Like a real Smurf, the guy that shows it. I now work. I said, what are you doing at work? I couldn't sleep. I said, what do you mean you couldn't sleep? For your bullshit. I thought I was dreaming. I said, so what happened? What are you doing over there? Man, you're a fucking genius. I did what you tell me that it was in the cigar. It's fucking amazing. I said, oh, hold on. Any disgrace for the cigar industry or a genius? What the fuck is going on? He said, you know what I mean. By the way, good morning and fuck you. And he hung up. Next day, we have an order for 10,000 cigars. It happens. Mistakes. So,
Angel, there ain't nothing wrong with my singing, buddy. I'll sing you a lullaby. All right, so
What a
we're
great.
down to the last few questions over here. And the last one I think he's gonna hit. Wanted to know what's the highest rated cigar Ace has done for another brand.
Well, that I can tell you 3 or 4 that they rate 99 because nothing rates 100%. So in that question, I did for many big guys, medium guys, small guys, and it was 99 in all of them.
Hmm. That's called a clue, guys. That means he can't disclose what it is. Oh, who is it for? I'm ishisms. Just saying, you know.
Don't get Parmesan.
All right, so I kind of already know this answer, because we all know what you drink. But coffee, whiskey, rum, wine with your cigar.
Obviously, wine. I'm from Spain.
Wine.
No,
I kind of figured that. I had to throw that out
but
there.
well, I having coffee, guys. I cannot do too much because it's almost done. But the thing for me to if it's a cigar I never smoked before, it's gonna be coffee or nothing. I would never do water. Water is a mistake, and I don't care what people tell you. Water is a mistake. So I do coffee. Coffee is neutral flavor, but believe it or not, it kills the nicotine in your system. So you are not gonna be, like a being green or like, oh my god, this cigar is killing me, because the caffeine kills or neutralizes the nicotine. Water all the way around, you just swallow it. But to me, it's having a cigar with a drink or with a food or whatever. You must to know the drink and the food and the cigar. If you like it, doesn't necessarily has to pair to another people's eyes. I like red and black colors. Maybe you like green and blue. The other guy yellow and white. So it's different things. But if I know what I like, I will pair my cigar with whatever I feel like it. I will having a wine right now, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning, so I don't. So I have my coffee, but I do with wine because I was born and raised, drinking wine. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, and of course, I'm having my cup of coffee and with the Foxy. And I agree. I think that it's my sippy cup. Pretty damn big sippy cup, boy. And I just lost my train of thought now, man. you know, unbelievable. Oh my god. So I really did forget my Hey, yeah, Adrian, you're something else, buddy. You are something else. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, man. Um, so okay, here you go. What name a country that could produces tobacco that you feel that's underrated?
You say country,
Yeah.
most of them. Actually, if we are, well, people will tell you, oh, it's 240 countries, which is not, but it's 204. Used to be 194. But I believe that even in Siberia, you have cuckoo people in greenhouse doing tobacco. So for the ones that we know, talking, of course, about Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Ecuador, Honduras, Costa Rica, Peru. Probably the most underrated, it will be two of them. It's Honduras and Ecuador. But I'll tell you why, because they have good tobacco, but not all the tobacco is good. So some is in the filler, some is in the binder, some is in the wrapper. But the most underrated tobacco, I'll tell you which one it is. For instance, Transylvania, but nobody gives a fuck about that. Transylvania is people don't know. And by the way, guys, don't try to buy it. I own it. I buy it.
Well, I'm surprised that you mentioned the norm countries that are underrated, as opposed to like the Irish tobacco. No one really knows about that tobacco. I could understand why you picked the norm. Like to me, I know I believe JJ's on here. He said good morning to us.
Morning.
To me, like Honduras tobacco is very earthy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I want to say I stay away from Honduran tobacco because I think they do bring some complexity if you know how to blend it with another tobacco to give it contrast, right? You know,
Yes.
so to me that's and you said that Alien 50, yeah, Alien 51.
Yeah. As
Alien
a matter
50,
of fact, that's true. Area 51, people are just
is it
saying that
Alien? Is it Alien 51 or Area 51?
it's Area 51, no Alien. But it's
I
called the
know,
Alien, but it's Area
I
51.
know, I know. You know, I'm trying to bust his chops just the same. But yeah. So here's my question because we're kind of getting closing things out now. So here's my question. You
Go
know,
for it.
what do you want Ish Olivan's BAM cigars to be? What do you want your legacy to be at the end of the day of all of this?
Well, my legacy per se, I'm not talking about, for me to sons, to grandsons, or whatever. My legacy, if I want to be known for something, I believe that I already am, is to be not special, different. To be different. I'm the only one so far. And if somebody's watching, or somebody big names, or somebody goes and call Paul and Peter and this and this and that, just come over here and tell me. I'm the only one so far in the whole world that has, I'm sorry to say it, the balls and the courage to go to different countries to bring something new to the table and people like it. So probably my legacy will be the guy blending. That's what it's called, a blending for different things. Like in food, I always put things with food or with wines. You blend things. I believe I'm the only one, and I will be known or recognized because of the blends I do. Different countries, different cigars, different tastes, different everything that people don't do. That's what I do. Going back to breaking the rules,
Right. No,
I
no, no,
believe it's
you're
that.
right. And the thing is that there's something to say about that because, right? Let's get into with these legacies, right? They built their reputation for so long, and
Mm-hmm.
they had that motto: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know,
Yeah.
and most of these cigars, not to mention any particular legacies, but to me, most of these guys they don't steer off in a different direction because they don't want to lose their so-called fan base, which I don't think they would. I think the fact is that like I said they don't want to fix something that's not broken. So they have a fan base that will follow them no matter how good or how bad that blend is. Because I've had a handful of bad cigars from very well-known legacies that have been around for years, and there is something to say about that. That to me, I think that is your legacy, in my opinion. That you and like, for me, anyways, you're the first master blender and that owns his own factory, which is a whole different question within itself. That has been willing to gamble on himself to try different countries and put them together and be able to pull it off. And that's another thing is to be able to pull it off. Because you can have all this tobacco, but if you don't know how the hell to freaking put them together, it don't mean nothing. I have to keep my
Exactly.
comments up for Bam. Sorry, Bam, Area 5180. I'll put it off. That was a lot of words.
It's so good, Angel. So it's,
Mm,
it's like I always said, and people tell me, I'm going to copy that. Because you own a restaurant doesn't make you a chef. Because you own a hospital doesn't make you a doctor or surgeon. Because you own a football team doesn't make you a player, you
right.
know? Because you own a fucking, I don't know, dancing place doesn't make you dancer. So that's what happened. Most people believe that because you have a restaurant, you must know how to cook. Well, that's far
That's
away for the
that's
for the
yeah,
truth.
yeah,
Now,
that's yeah.
or it make your name back then I'm talking hundreds of years ago. And it was no, again, it was no internet, it was no planes to travel around the world, it was no whatever, you just work with whatever you have. That was Dominican with Dominican, Nicaragua with Nicaragua, Cuba with Cuba, Cuban being the best cigars ever back then, not to this day, but back then, because they produce and they do only Cuban. Nicaraguan, they produce only Nicaraguan. Now they start to change, put a little Cuban over here, put a little Nicaragua, put a little Honduras, a little Ecuador. So, like you were saying before, if it's not broken, don't fix it and don't reinvent the wheel. Well, That's what people missing. People missing. A wheel is round, but depends how big it is. It's less effort to go with a wheelbarrow per se. If you have a tiny little wheel, it's gonna take you forever with weight. If you have a big wheel, it's gonna take you less time. So don't reinvent the wheel. Just make it work for you. And man, we so many people in this universe, in this earth per se, Via Láctea, however you wanna call it, in this world, that why not to use the good things that another countries has? Just because you just want to be a patriot, so do I. But patriot doesn't mean patriot that you love for your country, not necessarily what is in your country. Most people will bitch about what is in our country, no matter what. We patriot, but we hate the regulations. So pick a different countries and make it work. And I believe that's how the blends come.
Yeah, and we've had that conversation because we know like DR is very known to be very anal in regards to just their tobacco only.
Yeah.
You know, they're very, very well known for that. You know what I mean? And there's other companies, legacies that they kind of prove the industry wrong, that they innovated in regards to DR cannot make a strong cigar. You know, and they were able to prove them wrong. You know. But all right, Ish, last question, buddy.
Go for it.
One myth about cigars you want to kill, and you know what? I know there's many, but if you had to pick one myth that people constantly say that is wrong, that you want to just eliminate it,
No, I want to eliminate this blending. I hate when somebody comes in the screen. They have whatever. It could be small companies, it could be companies, it could be whatever. Oh, to blend a cigar, it takes 5 years. Well, if I have a button saying a bullshit, I would press it. You've been in my house, like many people watching me or watching us right here in the podcast. They've been at this house or the factory, and you can blend 40 cigars in a few hours. So I hear when people say, "Oh, this cigar is $100 because it took 5 years to blend." Sorry, guys, that's fucking bullshit. To blend a cigar is the same thing that to make a food again. If you have the ingredients, you do it. Now, different thing. You don't have the ingredients and you want to be unique and have your own ingredients. Yeah, it will take you 5 years to plant, to grow, dry, fermentate, and whatever. But that's a myth and a lie of the cigar industry that a blend takes 5 years. And I see for big guys, like that they have 30 blends, and they say, we only do one blend at a time, not 2 or 3 at the same time, and it takes 5 years. And sorry to say, and part of my friends, but I say, well, motherfucker, are you 300 years old? Because it took you 150 years just to do 30 blends, and you were born before that, and this and this and that, and you came later on in the industry, whatever. So that's something that is wrong. When people believe that it takes 5 years to do a blend, that's a lie. Sorry, I say how it is. It's a lie, and you are live proof that it's a lie.
Yeah, and I can say, and I agree with you 100% in regards to that, because you could have 4 different tobaccos, and within those 4 different tobaccos, you could come up with 30, 40 different blends with the same tobacco.
Absolutely, yes.
And to me, one of the myths that I would love to kill in this industry, and the legacies are probably going to hate me for this, and to me, I think this is where they take advantage of their followings, is that because of who I am, I could sell my cigar for $50, $100, and it's going to be the best cigar you ever smoked because of that price point. That's a myth that that needs to be killed. That just because a cigar costs that much money does not mean that it's worth that much in the tobacco.
As a matter of fact, it's actually not a myth. It's a fucking bullshit. Is what it is.
That's what I'm getting at, right? And to me, I just think that, and this is what I despise about the legacies in regards to them taking advantage of their consumers, and their followers, that they feel that, like, limited edition, right? We know a particular company that's had a limited edition for the last
30 years.
And exactly. And that particular cigar is still on the market, right?
Yeah.
but they call it limited edition to hike up the prices, and people that are foolish enough to fall for it, they go out and they buy it. You know.
Well, think about it. Last month, you part of the Factory Reserve, which is this, the Factory Reserve podcast. You smoked the Himalayan cigar. Well, it's on Himalayan tobacco in it. Was the most expensive cigar ever made, which it goes for $1.3+ million. It's Gurkha, right?
Yep.
It has tobacco from Himalayan. It has Fiji water. It has this 10,000 virgins praying to the Virgin Mary were running the cigar. Whatever. They sacrifice fucking 7 goats. I don't give a fuck. No cigar costs that. No cigar costs $50. No cigar costs even $25. It's not. It's not. Finish, of course. Everything increase the prices. Everything is a process. You have to import the cigar. You have to do this. You have to do that. The year of this, the year of that. What the fuck you talking about? So because it's the year of the rat, is $150. Shut the fuck up. It's not. It's not. You made the same cigar for $10 all day long. You just put a label saying the year of the rat. Shut the fuck up. So it's this program or this podcast is gonna be, people are gonna be mad at me, which I don't give a fuck.
The last question, guys, is what got them all hyped up. Did you see that? And this is what you guys got to look forward to in this podcast. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of behind the scenes, behind closed doors that you're going to get to see up front and forward. And honest. He's going to be honest. You ask him the question, he's going to answer honestly. So be careful what you ask for, because you might not like the answer.
One question, guys, don't ask me. You don't want to hear about master blender, master rollers. Just put it that right there. You can catch us in the next episode. Don't ask me about that.
I was going to ask you one of those questions, but if you notice,
go for it.
There's a couple of questions that I didn't ask because I didn't want to start. No, and you know what? I didn't want to ask it because I think that's good for another topic on the podcast for you. That in regards to, you don't necessarily have to name people. That's your prerogative. But to me, I think that there's certain things that people need to know, right? And a perfect example is, and we'll touch on this briefly, because I know how long on a rant you could go on this. And you were on our podcast, on the Leaf and Ash podcast last week, Thursday, right? And
yes,
shameless plug, right? Thursdays, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Just say YouTube, Facebook. But anyway, one of the questions we asked Ish was in regards to the tariffs in the industry, right? This is something that the regular consumer does not have the slightest clue about. I, for one, did not know until I asked you when they were talking about the hikes of all these 18% here, 10% there. Briefly, just tell them exactly in regards to, because that, to me, I think that's the topic that you could definitely go on all day and talk about on the podcast.
To be honest, let's start with this. If it was no consumers and media showing the cigars to the consumers, it would not be cigar industry whatsoever. It will not be brands, it will not be retailers, it will not be factories, it will not be farms. So if you don't consume a product, it's no need for it. You just close down. Okay, that's first of all. So what I hate is when people go and the influencers, or whatever you fucking want to call them, I guess I don't know how to call them. Scammers is how I call them, to be honest with you, and liars. When they say, oh, all of the board is gonna be $2 or $3, and it's known as, man, it's tariffs, whatever. Tariffs is on the factory invoice. Nobody declared, and IRS, you're watching, you know this for a fact, anyways, or I can show you with papers. Nobody's going to declare that the year of the rat, it costs $50 at the factory, so they sell it for $75, because they will have to pay taxes up to their asses in other countries. You don't do that. So it's 10% of the factory invoice. Nobody's going to do more than $2, $3. That's being generous. Nobody's going to call $4, $5 at the factory. It's not. Because what people don't understand is that it's not the cost of the cigar. It's the cost to export, the freight, import. Now you have to pay FDA taxes, FDA user fees, TTB taxes, TTB. You have to pay customs, which is two ways to pay 40 cents, 0.26 a cigar, or 52.75% of the cost of the cigar, including everything I mentioned, the freight, this, and that. So it's bullshit. In fact, the only ones paying that is the importers. And the importer, obviously, if I import a cigar for you and they cost me 10 more cents a cigar, I tell you 10 cents to you. But that 10 cents, it goes from the factory all the way to the consumer. It's not 10 cents, Keystone 10 cents, Keystone 10 cents, because now it become too much. You cannot charge. Obviously, people do it, but it should be illegal. Anyways, charge or double dip in taxes. You pay taxes once. You don't have to pay tax and tax and tax and tax and tax and this and this and that and put excuse, the very bullshit excuse that, oh, my cigar is $2 more because whatever. I'm gonna put that myth out right now. Why, when Nicaragua was 18% a few months back, they went $2 or $3 overboard, and when you buy a cigar, it's $2 or $3 more. But 3 months later, he said, okay, zero taxes in Nicaragua. But those motherfuckers are still putting $2 or $3 overboard. Why? Yes, why? Well, you put the excuse that, oh, so put it down again. Be for the consumer. The consumer is who's making your big fucking house, your palace, or whatever. Buy a horse for your daughter, whatever it is doing the cigar for you. Your new car, your new plane, whatever. But if it goes down, be realistic. I say, guys, the $2 overboard, or the 3 or the 4 is down. We don't have more terrorists because people see the news. People watch the news, listen to the news. So it was 18, they charged $2 or $3 more. Now it's zero, but it's still the same price. Why? Because us, including myself, as consumers, we fucking idiots. And because we used to pay that money, you pay it. Same with gas, same with groceries, same with whatever. And that's my friends, what you guys have to stop.
Yeah, you guys got to understand what he just finished saying, guys. And I'm gonna try to translate isms in real simple. So basically, it is on the import. So the import's $1,000, right? Right. It should be $100 on the total, right? It should not be that $100 into every cigar. That's the totality of that fee for that tariff.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happening is, and what has happened is, and we've seen it, certain legacy companies, right? They have had their cigars. And listen, the lounge I go to, certain legacies, and he hit the nail on the head. They've gone up $1.50. But guess what? The tariffs are no longer there. Why have they not dropped down that $1.50? Because us as the consumers, we still pay because of the name. Once again, it's that following, you know. But if you don't educate yourself and you don't put pressure on your brick and mortars, and I hate to say it like that, because the brick and mortars are still, they're there to make money, and I understand that, and it's sad because it's like those are the ones that kind of suffer with these price gouging that these guys do, because we all know how Keystone works, and we know it's not a rule, you know, but it's a rather law, but it's a rule of thumb that people take in the industry. But like I said, that's something that I would love to get more in depth. Man, I am 5'8", man, without shoes on, man. I keep on telling Adrian, not everyone could be blessed to be 6'4". But anyway, that's all the questions I have, unless the panel has any other questions.
Go for it, guys.
Oh, he knows karate. Oh, but
that's the panda, yeah. He knows karate.
So, I mean, listen, you know what? I think this was a great start for your podcast. Ish. I think what you bring to the podcasting cigar world is a lot different than the norm, and I, for one, appreciate it, because you know what? It's good to hear from the consumer and see what they have to say in regards to the industry, and be able to ask you and kind of get information from you that are not easily what's the word?
Yeah.
Accessible. That information is not accessible to the common consumer. And I think that what you are going to bring to the industry, I know. Listen, I know it's going to piss off a lot of people. You know what I mean? But I think that you made a living in pissing people off. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
I love it.
So I don't think it's going to be anything different. You know, that's what this podcast should be. Prepare to be pissed off. You know, the podcast about Ish Olivan. But how many hashtags do we got already? Do you know?
Let's see. I don't know because this thing it was not working at all. But let me see.
Sorry, we're getting up on one.
Let me see.
Kali, we appreciate
if I can
that.
put it back.
Trademark that one, Panda. I will. I'm going to trademark that one. The podcast is going to piss you off.
Yeah. You see, what happened, but anyways, we'll do a question or whatever answer first because it's telling me it's the same thing that it happened before. Choose a live stream and doesn't allow me to choose a live stream. It's the hashtag, but it doesn't allow me. So
all right, so listen, guys, it may not happen today.
No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for those that we just go as a question, and whoever answers the first, obviously, is gonna be in the podcast, and it will have a Factory Reserve of July, which is coming as a matter of fact this week.
Well, so you know what? So let's take a moment while you're trying to get that stuff. So in the very first Factory Reserve, so why don't we talk about the Factory Reserve? Talk about the Factory Reserve, and also, you know what? Well, we added, let's talk about also the TPAs. But first, let's talk about the Factory Reserve. So that's the name of the podcast. Tell them what the Factory Reserve is, where they could get the subscriptions every month in regards to these blends that people have never had before. So go for it.
Factory Reserve, it was born last September of 2025. After 5 years, a friend of mine has been asking me to do a BAM cigars because we have, 60, 70 cigars in the lineup. And I say, I will never do that because people get bored. A brand, it shouldn't do just, a monthly club. It's not for a brand to make it because how many cigars you have in your lineup? You mind that you have 10 cigars. What do you want to say? For 2 months and then repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So it's not for that. It's for something else. So I start to call everyone I make cigars for, which is today's day 134. Back then it was 130, and I say, hey, I'm gonna pay for the cigar, I'm gonna pay for the band. You're not getting paid. It's just my money going out, but people can reorder it for you or for me, which the money goes to you anyways, and it's gonna be $35. They call me crazy. How you can do that? You're losing money. I say, I don't care. I know over here to everybody in this life, and they say otherwise, is to make money. In cigars, really, I do not care. A lot, as long as I'm not losing tons of money, I don't care. Because if it's 100 packets a month, it's gonna be at least 10%. So 10 people that they will reorder. Oh, give me 5 marbles, give me 5 foxes, give me this, give me that. So that's where the money comes from. But the cigar, what he said.
The angry panda.
The angry panda.
You know, I might come up with something like that. We will come up with the blend together. But so guys, so explain that. So it's 35. Guys, you understand? It's $35 for 5, sometimes 6 cigars.
6 cigars.
Okay.
Okay.
So and that includes shipping.
Shipping,
which is baffling to me. It's that we've had discussions about that. It behind closed doors, and I kind of want to just strangle him sometimes because you guys have no idea the amount of money that he does lose. Because what ends up happening is, like, let's say you order a Factory Reserve package on Sunday. It gets onto the system, and they say, you know what, I want to buy for fulano. I want to buy for my buddy. So you know what, and I want to have an extra one for me. So then on Tuesday or Wednesday, they order 2 extra ones. So H goes one by one. So the system that he has, they'll say 30 people, let's say hypothetically 30 people ordered, but it doesn't say how many orders they are. That makes sense. So you have 30 names, but not that the amount of purchases are different. So what ends up happening, Ish will go package it up, print the label, pay for that label, and then like 10, 20, names down, sees your name again. Guess what? He has to go and paid for it all over again. And
Yeah.
I dare anyone to find a better monthly subscription for $35 that you get cigars from all around the world and tobacco that you never had. I promise you never had. And it's you want to bang for your buck, this is where to go. Factory Reserves.
I tell you something, Panda. If somebody can find a better deal with the same cigars or close to the same cigars, because nobody do the cigars with different countries anyways, and if they do, it's me making them. So anyways, it's gonna be in the package. I get the whole year for free because
Yeah.
no one is gonna find for $35 cheap 5 to 6 cigars. Which in the first one, when it was the Foxy with around the world, it was the marble. Yeah, the marble alone is $72 in South Arabia, Germany, Spain, and many other countries. So just one cigar, and they have that cigar plus 4 more for 35 shipping, ship include. Nah. Nobody can have that. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, that's a fact. And Bree, let's talk about the tobacco
EPA.
the TPA, and which is another great organization that you came up with. And we do have an event, and we'll talk about that momentarily. But good, talk about the TPA.
So the TPA, which is the Tobacco Products Association, it was born May 2 years ago, and we are 5 board members, and we decided to do the same thing that I do with this podcast: be focused in the consumer, not focus on nothing else. We don't make money. We charge very little money, and that money goes to pay the phone, to pay the website, to pay the LLC, to pay the attorney. So, as a matter of fact, we're losing money, to be honest with you. But it's just because we want the consumer to be informed and not bullshit like everyone else does. Oh, give me $800, and the $800 allow you to pay me another $15,000 to spoil your cigars. Well, I'm sorry, we don't do that. And it's mostly for the consumer, like I said. And if somebody want to know anything about it, go to tpa.rocks, and I will tell you everything. And now with the Pensacola event, it will be TPA event October 1st to the 3rd. The first, granted, is mostly for the vendors and whoever early birds to go and have fun and all of that with us during the night. But it will be Friday and Saturday. It's going to be tons of just boutique cigars or small company like I call, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We have DJs, we have giveaways, we have raffles, we have how it's called, a brewery that we are gonna go. We have a lounge that we are gonna go. We have it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
And that's to you, Haze Gray, and as the TPA. So it's 3 different entities involved in this.
Yeah, the first day, guys, is like pretty much we try to make it as a meet and greet all the vendors, which is it's gonna be great. The VIP package offers a lot. We're gonna have a rolling class with Ish for the VIP, plus a pairing the next day on Saturday, and then also part of that. That's another thing, that VIP ticket also includes the dinner, that's on the last day of the event. So yeah. I can honestly tell you it's a great event that's going to be. And mind you, we're looking at other states just the same. And hopefully this turns out the way we're hoping, and then we'll move on to the next. We're already talking to a couple of people in other states, so definitely keep an eye on that. Were you able to figure that out yet, Ish?
No, but it doesn't allow me. Again, guys, it's the first time. I used to be, because it's no more the cigar dudes, and everything was done over here, and it was, very easy to go because it's 2 years doing that thing. But in this one, it's the first time.
We're gonna get it right.
I pay for it, guys. Don't think I don't. But it pisses me off. It's not working. So let's make, for the people over here, and it's easy. We can make a question, any questions, and guys, don't think that it's going to be cigars. It could be a simple mathematical question, whatever we want, And whoever answers the first, it will have the July Factory Reserve pack.
Oh, man.
So yeah. You have to be present anyways. So let's see who answered. You want to add the question?
No, hold on now. Let me see.
Any question. Yes, sir. You're totally correct, Brian. And thank you for watching, guys.
Man, oh, his name is that's right. That is right. Oh man, you know what, guy? I got somebody knocking on my door. I do apologize, people. Give me 1 second.
Go for it. Go for it. So, anyways, guys, don't ask me why I cannot, the giveaway tool for this is a string guard. Yes, it goes to Facebook and Instagram and whatever, but it's telling me over here, let me put my cheaters, giveaway tool. I say live stream, choose a live stream. I go to the little arrow, it's nothing to choose. Yes, allow me to do the test, the AFR podcast, but it doesn't allow me to do nothing, which is kind of weird, to be honest with you, and doesn't allow me to type or nothing. So we will do just a question, whatever random question is, and hopefully by next Monday, it will be fixed. The answer is Dr. Pepper. Well, there you go, Brent. Just for that, even if you win, I will not send to you. And by the way, guys, this is, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong when I say this. It is no sponsor, it's just in-house done. It will be cigars made by us, giving, which it costs money. But if you want to put your name out, it's not like many people is gonna watch us anyways, hopefully yes. But you want to put your name out and you want to give, you have cigars and you want to give a 5-pack, a 2-pack, one cigar, or lighters, or I don't care if it's coasters, I don't care, whatever you guys have. If you want me to put out, send me just a little picture, a little introduction, whatever, and we can do that. But this is not gonna be a podcast that is a sponsor, like give me 200, give me 500, give me 1,000. Ain't gonna be that. Or give me every week this. We don't do that. That's what is called the factory reserve, because we are the factory reserve. But if you want your cigars to be out, to be exposed or whatever, be my guest and do it. You don't have to send to me. You just give to the winner if you want to. But again, it's not sponsored. It's just us. But if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. So, what it was, the cops in your house or what?
No, I forgot that the dishwasher is broken. So we have someone here fixing the dishwasher.
So, anyways, go for the question, man. Go for the question. And guys, normally it's gonna be 1 hour. Today we we are in 1 hour and 46 minutes. Call it 1 hour and 30 minutes because, guys, I fucked it up. I didn't know how it works. It's a record, not go live. So Panda went over there with his expertise and more or less run by me how it is. But sorry, guys, I apologize not.
That sounds like a bad adult movie. I tell you. All right, guys. You know what? It's gonna be a cigar question. So my question to you, and I'll give you guys a multiple choice. Which cigar company is the oldest? And these are your choices. Which cigar company is the oldest?
Can I play?
Nope. We like to call this company Partagas, Olla de Monterrey, or Romeo y Julieta. Which company is the oldest?
So Partagas,
Olla de Monterrey,
or Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Julieta.
Romeo and Julieta.
Yeah, you are running over the hour, but at least.
And go, guys, go. First to answer right, it wins.
Everybody does going.
Partagas.
Steve got it. Steve K. Partagas.
Yes,
Partagas
sir.
is 1840. It was founded in 1845. Romeo and Julieta was 1875.
75, yeah.
Yeah. And Olla de Monterrey is 1865. So Steve McKay, congratulations.
Steve, you don't have to send me your address. I already have it.
There
So don't worry about it. With your monthly cigars, now you don't have no one, you have two.
Man.
have two. So
nice.
there you go.
There you go. Well, guys, so I don't think it was a bad inaugural. I think it's a good way. It's a good solid foundation for the podcast. And guys, honestly, I know 7 o'clock is early, but guess what? It's the good thing is that it also has a lot of people from Europe too.
Yes.
And eventually I'm sure they'll start popping up.
Well, we have right now 33 people watching. It has been between 20 to 30, 40. So guys, I appreciate. I never expected to be in the United States 7 o'clock. For some of you guys, it was 4 o'clock when we start. For some of you, 6 o'clock. Obviously, Europe it was midday or 1 p.m. But guys, thank you so much. And you don't know what is gonna happen. It's gonna be any one of you guys as a consumer. I will put today after this show. I will say who wants to be next Monday. Has to be a consumer, and you a brand. You're gonna talk about your brand. Talk about the cigar that you smoke. Period. It's gonna be questions like I was the interviewer. It was interviewed by another interviewer. That's fucked up, but it happened.
Hey guys, and obviously, make sure that you guys share the podcast, and obviously hit the bell and hit that all notification bell, so anytime it goes live, you'll be notified or he has a release, because I'm sure he's gonna have others. So also, here's another question: what are all your social media pages that they can find you? Because I know you're on Instagram, Facebook.
Everything is under Banff Cigars or Factory Reserve. All of them. YouTube is Factory Reserve Podcast. Guys, you subscribe, good. And I'm saying for me to have more followers is for you guys to have better prices. So every Monday is gonna be a price no matter what from me. But 1,000 subscribers, it's gonna be good.
Listen to this. And listen, he said that today is the very first podcast, and this SOB already has 632 subscribers.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Dude, that is absolutely, listen, that is phenomenal. And let me tell you, he's kicking himself in the ass with that 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, because he's going to be at 1,000 subscribers in no time.
Probably next Monday, I had to give it a big price already. And I promise you, the thing will be working next. I don't know why it didn't work, but again,
we'll get them right, guys. We'll get them right. And yes, Don, the Leaf and Ash will be here to support and whatever we could do. And we'll get that wheel. We have it. I'll get with Don, because Don was the one that was able to create that for us. And JJ initially, then Don was able to figure that out. So I'll pick his brain, and then we'll get it going, just like we got this going. We ran a little bit behind, but we caught up.
I did like 6-7 times with the host who was not there. I did it, no problem, and it's the same website.
Yeah.
But it says choose a stream. Well, it doesn't give me choose this, that, so I will figure it out. Yeah. But it's how it is. And by the way, Panda, because you are the first one in the first episode of inauguration per se. Talk about you, talk about your platform, talk about your cigars. Go ahead and let people know.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, as you guys know, me and my guys, we have a podcast called the Leaf and Ash Podcast. All right, there it is. And we also have a company called Bonded by the Leaf Cigar Company. That who makes it? I wonder who. This guy, right? Ish. And we got 3 blends that we got. We have the Smoker's Ember, the Smoker's Delight, and the Smoker's Inferno. And all of them are going to be displayed in the TPA Smoke Fest in October. Right now, we're working on the boxes and the fibers and the sample packs and stuff like that coming up. Going back to the podcast, we're on our podcast every Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on YouTube and on Facebook. All my social media platforms is Cigar Panda or Panda75. My Gmail, cigarpanda75 at Gmail. If you have any information you want to send me, and if anybody else, same thing here. Consumers also, because we've had a couple of guys come on our podcast just to talk about everyday life. You could always contact any of me or my guys in regards to coming onto the podcast and just continue on this journey, to build this community, because that's what it's all about. As a matter of fact, that company right there, that one right there, that right there is another a byproduct of Ish. And these guys are doing some really, really big things. These guys are one of our sponsors. And I'm not saying that because they're one of our sponsors, but I have a lot of respect and admiration for these guys. Those guys, yeah. I mean, how can you not be proud of them? Because the reality is that company, those guys are really putting boots to ground. These guys are traveling thousands of miles to different states to promote their product, and you gotta respect that. Not everyone, they talk about it, but they don't want to be about it, which is totally two different things.
Case Gray is already, if they know in the six figure right now, they will be anyways, but I'm sure that they are already, and it's only half year.
Yeah.
I said in 2025 they will be make tons of noise.
Oh, yeah.
Today they will make tons of noise when they cry because Spain is going to be
I was waiting for it.
But don't worry, I will stay making cigars for you guys, no matter what.
Dude,
but
mind you guys, that's the Portugal versus Spain today at 3:00. So I'm definitely gonna be glued to that television.
Tell you something. I was born and raised in Spain, and I'm American by choice. I'm very proud to be American. In fact, in 12 days, it will be half of my life I live in Europe, half of my life I live in the United States. In today's game, Portugal against Spain, I'm gonna be happy no matter who wins, because Portugal and Spain, man, we're together. Portugal is into Spain. It's our kidneys, It's not like it's different country, different whatever. It's right in there. Sometimes a pain in the ass. It could be pain in the ass as well, they're right there.
Oh,
but
isn't that calling the kettle black? Ain't that something, guys?
Look. They say, "Where is my cup?"
Oh, I'm not
said?
drinking right now. I'm not drinking. But if you look, hey, listen, if you go back to the podcast, the last three, that cup is shown.
You see what he said?
My steak is going to be
taste
so
good.
Oh,
I will get it, the best one that you can have, and I will drive personally to your own house with my ingredients, so you don't have to do nothing, and cook it for you guys. No one for mistakes. But if you lose, you have to come over here and cook for me.
Oh man! Well, the stakes just went up because that wasn't the original bet. But okay,
it's gonna be the ear of the rat steak. It's gonna be like in the hundreds.
Wow! That's insane. Well, guys, it's been a blast, man. It's been really a blast. And Ish, thank you for having me on.
Oh, you got it. And Rue, his spray. It's not kind of words. It's the real truth. And one thing that people know me for is being an asshole. You know why? Because
you beat me to it.
But
you beat me to it.
Yeah, people say, "You're an asshole." Well, knowing things is being an asshole. I guess that all our teachers and our parents and family, they an asshole because they knew more that we know to this day. And now we're teaching what they teach us, and we say, "Oh, my father is an asshole." Now we teach our sons. But it's just life. But he's great. You guys are fucking phenomenal, and you deserve every bit of it.
So there'll be a household name soon. Just don't forget about us small people, man. That's what I say. Don't forget about the small people, man.
So, guys, we are about to end this thing, and watch the little video. It's like in 19 seconds. Let me know if I had to change or whatever. Again, I'm bigger in person. The videos is just like, making muscular and shit, but no, I'm way bigger in person. Yeah, it's just bullshit. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Panda, love you, buddy.
Love you,
And
Woo-hoo.
peace.